Hello guys, welcome back to 1878 Blues. This is the match preview for Manchester City v Everton tomorrow at the Etihad Stadium. Before I get into this match preview, let's see if we can try and get 10 likes for this video. I know this match preview videos I do for before every game is not very popular on this channel. It doesn't get much interaction at all. Sometimes we don't even get 5 likes, but I'm going to just try and push the boat out there. And I'm trying to get 400 subscribers before um, New Year's Day. New Year's Day. Depends on what happens tomorrow. If we lose heavily or we lose right at the end or something, it'll get a lot of views or interaction. If we win, I mean, just because it's against Man City, it could actually have a good reaction to it. But who knows? Thank you for all the comments and likes and all the whatever in the last video. All the interaction I got. It helped a bit after getting beat. But yeah, I prefer us to be winning games than losing that way. Yeah, this is probably the most pointless video I feel like I'm ever going to do on this channel. Um, let's just be honest, we're not going to pick up anything in this game. I know you in the back of my mind, and some people who will be watching this as well will probably be thinking, you just don't know, it's football, innit? Stranger things have happened. Um, you think you're going to get battered as well. City could just win by 1 goal, and we could be quite unfortunate on the day. City could have a day off. Um, I'd have probably thought a little bit of that, even though that sounds crazy, if City didn't get beat by Brentford at home. I can't see City losing 2 on the bounce at home. I can't see it. Um, it's just not going to happen. And to be honest, either way or whatever I look at it as, this squad has absolutely nothing in them to put out a performance like a performance with in that magnitude to go and beat City and play well. There's absolutely no chance that's going to happen. Um, you know, how are we thinking we're going to put a performance against Man City when we couldn't really at all, apart from our first goal, break down a Wolves side who are 20th, who was 20th in the league. And we've got the likes of Man City, have got stars everywhere. I don't need to get into the Man City squad. I don't need to really talk too much about them. We know what Haaland is doing. 20 goals in 14 games. We know that. Um, we know that defences. You know what? He's good at movements in the box, but I think if you know the likes of Haaland is like that, you've got to be really switched on. And there's a lot of goals he scored, I think, this season when I'm going, them defenders are like fucking stupid. Like, I don't think there's too much. I don't think he's not doing anything too smart. I think the deliveries have been exceptional to him. Obviously Kevin De Bruyne, Gundogan, Cancelo, all of them just giving him, assisting him for the goals and the way they've played to get them goals. But I'll be so focused on them in the box, and that might sound like a bad thing because they've got that many players. If you focus too much on them, then you get the likes of Bernardo Silva, Gundogan, um, Foden sneaking into the box and scoring themselves, and that's why it's so difficult to play a team against Man City because everyone can chip in goals. Um, you can laugh at Grealish all you want, but he still plays well. Like I look at some of our players, like it's hard because Andy Gordon and McNeil probably scored the same amount of goals as Grealish this season, but Grealish contributes so much more. I don't want to focus on him too much because he has a good team around him as well, who actually make the good runs and give him the space to do what he wants. But I still think he's contributed fairly well. Obviously not to the 100 million price tag, but that's not on him. That's an overvalued British player again, which teams seem to fall for. But yeah, at least he's doing bits every game. It feels like he does. He has an influence in something in the game. Whereas our side just look like they have absolutely no idea what they're doing. It's like it's the first time they've picked up a football in their life. Um, all we can hope for is City to have a really bad day. We've got Connor Cody back, which is good. Yerry Mina probably won't be playing. I don't want him playing. The guy, like Rondon, just fucking let him go, because it is just exhausting and just deflating seeing fucking Everton Instagram posting up going, oh, Mina will be back in a few weeks, or Lampard just updating it. Like, he's not fucking bored of it himself. You should just say, Lampard, listen, he gets injured every time. He'll just see when he gets back. Because the guy is just he's just fucking useless. He is. I've never seen a player get injured that much in my life. Um, it's every game he comes off. I'm not even going into it. It fucking annoys me. But um, I actually called it when. Sorry, I know I just said I'll pass on it, but I actually called it when he was about to get injured in that Wolves game. He did just literally a few seconds before he did this sprint or whatever it was, a large jog. And I just thought to myself, that's too much for him. He doesn't run that. He doesn't put that much effort into his running and whatnot. He's going to pull something. And then he just had fucking cramp like 20 seconds later. I was like, oh my fucking God, I can call it every time. You just know. But, yeah, no matter who we set up with, you know what, I wouldn't even fucking put Mopay in. And Dominic Calvert-Lewin's probably going to be on the bench. Obviously, we've heard the news that he's returned to fitness. But then, again, like Yerry Mina, when's he going to pull a muscle again, or when's he going to do anything to hurt himself? It's going to happen in the in the game, or in training, or at home. He's just gonna injure himself again, out of nothing, out of nowhere, and we're going to be left with Mopay again. But you know what? I wouldn't even start Mopay. Tom Cannon. Just start Tom Cannon. Just start him. Why the fuck not? City will have no idea who he is. I mean, they'll obviously do a little bit of research on him because, they've got the team to do it. But and I'm pretty sure they would do that with every player in the matchday squad anyway, or who has featured for Everton at some point. But they won't know too much about him, and he could be just a little bit of a surprise for City, and I think, why not? Mopay is offering absolutely nothing apart from awful finishing. Um, I I don't even know what to say to the game, to be honest. I'm not watching it. I'm in work, and I'm in work. I really don't want to be watching this type of game because we're just going to get annihilated, and no one likes to see that for their own team. And it's just sad that years ago we had this great record against City, a really good record. Even when they started, the investments coming in as well, we're still beating them, or at least competing against them at their ground. We offer absolutely nothing against City now. City, this is like a training game for them. They're playing 36 games in a season. Let's just be honest, to play 36 games in a season, because the 2 games they play against us is fucking easy. Yes, at Goodison it can be a bit tricky, but they must be that confident that they'll just nick a goal. They don't panic at all against us because we're so shite. But yeah, to me, if I'm going to do a match prediction, score prediction, now, I'm not even over exaggerating. I've seen a lot of people try and be nice and say 3-0, 4-1, 2-0, stuff like that to City. I'm honestly believing this is going to be about 6-0. 6-0. 6 or 7-0. And I'm not even over exaggerating. And it could be worse. Why can't we just say the truth on this? Like, sometimes it can change. It could be a Scruffy Haaland penalty for a 1-0 win. It could be. But I'm looking at both sides. I'm just looking at us, and we literally offer absolutely nothing. Nothing. There's not a hope in that squad that makes me think we have something there potentially to cause them problems, or to cause them to frustrate them. or anyone to keep them out of bay. I can't see it at all. We are fucking hopeless, and it could be an absolute battering. Um, I think especially losing their last game to Brentford the way they did, and yes, they won their last game against um, who did he play? Leeds away, and then obviously they beat Liverpool home in the cup. But they're gonna want to just batter someone, aren't they? They want to get back into that kind of scoring routine, and there's no better side, probably us and Southampton, they would want to face right now, and we're just gonna be getting hiding. And is this the end of Lampard then? If that's the case, how is Lampard going to keep his job after this, or do you think he should? I don't know where to go with it, to be honest. I really don't know what the next best step is. The best next step is, because it's the board for me, and a lot of them are still there. A few of them have left over time, but a lot of them are still there, um, and it's never going to change. I think this just acceptance of where we are now is just a joke. But the media is going to be really out there now if Lampard gets hammered. If Everton get hammered, Lampard's going to get hammered, and the pressure's going to be really on there. And if it's a valiant display and we got beat 2-1 or something like that, it could be a bit of a different story. But at the end of the day, I don't think the pressure really should be on him, because this game's just a mismatch anyway, and we're going to get battered no matter what. And we're just going to lose no matter what. We're going to come out to the FA with 0 points and 5 straight losses. The pressure should be on him after the Wolves game. That's when the pressure really should have got to him, because that was a disgusting way to end the game. A fucking joke. I can't even blame the crowd too much. I don't blame the crowd in a sense, but at the same time, we had no one up front, because no one up front was doing anything. You can't rely on Tom Cannon to do something out of nowhere, but it was just the diddly dallying at the back. It was just pathetic. Like, at least just pass the ball forward. They passed it back about 10 times to each other, the two centre backs, Tarkowski and Godfrey. I was like, what in the fuck is going on here? This is embarrassing. You're playing at side who's 20th. Yes, we should be probably there ourselves, and we probably will be soon. But come on, there should be something more about us. And then the tracking back for the goal was horrendous. I can't even describe, like, the Corday, who's not played in ages. He's been off with the World Cup as well, and he fucking jogs back. He doesn't fucking break his neck to make sure that Wolves don't score at the end. It's pathetic. It's absolutely, need to get some of these players out. And I feel like I'm saying this all the time. We're going to have a whole new squad, and then I'm going to be saying the same thing. But this is the thing with everything. We're just lost. We don't know what to say anymore. And you've seen that much piss poor performances, piss poor results. And it's just the same shit every year, but it's getting dramatically worse. But yeah, I'll see you for the match reaction tomorrow. And yeah, we'll see you then. Let's hope City have an off game and we can do something. But it's got to be something special. And regardless of what happens, January is probably our most important month in a very long time, because if we don't get any players in, if we don't get the right sort of players in, we are fucking screwed. But anyway, I'll see you all soon.